Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be doing a first impressions wear test on the new Marc Jacobs Shameless foundation. So this is what the foundation looks like. I have the shade Y320, so if you'd like to hear my thoughts on this foundation and see a couple of check-ins throughout the day, then please continue to watch. Alright, so here is the foundation. This is what the packaging looks like. It's actually plastic, which is kind of interesting. I thought for the price, it was $56 Canadian, that it wouldn't be plastic, but I kind of like that it's small and it's super sleek. Like you can see that right there. It stands up like that on a table. And yeah, I guess it's pretty travel friendly because it is plastic and it won't break on you. Yeah, so I'm gonna shake it up. It's supposed to be a medium coverage, and I did try it out yesterday evening, but I only had it on for about maybe like 3 or 4 hours, so I don't really have like a strong opinion on it. When I did apply it, I did notice that was perhaps maybe a light to medium coverage and not a medium coverage, so just something to keep in mind if you are interested in purchasing this foundation. So when you open it, you twist off the top like this, and it's just like a little squeezy tube like that. I picked up the shade Y320, so it's a medium shade with yellow undertones, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit on my hand just to show you guys the consistency. So as you can see, it's quite liquidy, but it's not too liquidy. That's the color that I got. It looks a little bit orange to me, and even when I put it on my face, it did look a little bit orange, but once it kind of sat into the skin and it adjusted to my actual skin, I feel like it did adjust a little bit and it wasn't as orange. So I have that much foundation, which is how much I'd usually take anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try it with a brush, and I'm gonna use the brush on this side of my face just to see. I have a feeling I'm gonna like it with a brush better because it is supposed to be like a medium coverage. It doesn't have any kind of scent to it, just smells like makeup. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply it to this side of my face. I have already primed, and I used the Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer along with the Marc Jacobs Coconut Skin Primer. So that's what I primed my face with, and I let it soak in for, it's actually been about an hour now, so hopefully this still works out. So let's see. As you can see, it does look quite orange on me, but let's keep going. At first I thought the color was a little bit too light for me, but I'm so used to wearing foundations that are actually like a shade to 2 shades darker than my actual skin that I think this is actually a pretty good match for me. I did order this online, so I wasn't able to test to see if this foundation was gonna be my color. Yeah, same as yesterday. I would say this is more of a light to medium rather than like a medium foundation. And it didn't do much to cover up my blemishes. It also didn't emphasize texture or anything like that. So let's see. So this is what the foundation looks like on this side of my face, and then this is what my face looks like without foundation. I do have this one blemish here, so just ignore that. But you can see that it did even out the skin tone, but it didn't significantly cover up the skin, and it's definitely not like a full flawless coverage. Yeah, like I said, I would give it like a light to medium. So now on this side of the face, I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender, and I'm just gonna use the rest of the foundation that's on here, and if I need more, I'll just add a little bit more. And now I'm gonna take my damp beauty blender and I'm gonna blend it out. Move my mirror to this side so can she see what I'm doing. Okay, so the beauty blender definitely shears out the foundation quite a lot. it's not as good coverage as the other side, which I use the brush on. Didn't do a whole lot to cover up that one blemish that I have down here. Like, you can still see it pretty well. This is what the foundation looks like with one light layer, which is typically what I would apply, is just one light layer. Ain't nobody got time to build it up. But I am gonna try to build this one up. Let's just see, because it does say that it's a medium buildable coverage. So I'm interested to see what it's gonna look like built up. So I'm gonna take a little more foundation, maybe like a half a pump or so, and see if it builds up. I'm gonna use my beauty blender to build it up because I feel like with the brush it's gonna be quite drying right now since I already have a layer on. And I'm just gonna use it in the areas that I have blemishes. What I'm gonna do is go ahead, apply all my makeup off of camera, let you know how everything applied over top of the foundation, and then I'm gonna do a check-in around the 6-hour mark, and then I'll do another check-in around the hopefully 8 to 10 hour mark. I'll see where I get with it. Okay, so I have all the rest of my makeup on. I did end up setting the foundation with the Charlotte Tilbury powder, and the reason for that is because when I put the foundation on and I gave it about 5 minutes to set, it was still a little bit tacky on the skin. And as you can see, my skin does look pretty skin-like. I actually really like the finish of it. And once the pigments adjusted to the color of my skin, it didn't look as orange as it did when I first applied it. So this is what the foundation looks like now. I can go ahead and zoom you guys in. Like, you can see a little bit of my veins down here. And you can definitely still see the blemishes that I had at the bottom of my chin. But overall, it does look very, very skin-like and very natural on the skin. I am gonna wear the foundation all day long. It is actually 1:27. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check in about 6 hours, and then I'll check in at the end of the night before I take my makeup off. So let's see how this foundation holds up. Alright guys, so it is now 8:09, as you can see. It's about 6.5 hours in, so I'm gonna zoom you guys in and show you what the foundation looks like. So this is what it looks like now. I will say that it definitely settled in to my smile lines, so you can see that it has settled in a little bit. It's not too bad. It's like pretty much any foundation that I've tried, so it's not terrible. The blemishes on my chin are still a little bit visible, which is how they looked when I first applied the foundation. Maybe worn down a little bit, but nothing too crazy. So overall, I would say that the foundation has held up pretty well. It's the blush, the bronzer, and the highlight look practically the same as when I first applied. Aside from that, I think the foundation is holding up pretty well. I'm not feeling it that much, to be honest with you. Alright, I'm back for the final check-in of the night. It is now 11:10, so it's been about 9 hours since I've been wearing this foundation, and same as my previous check-in, it pretty much looks the same as that one. I haven't noticed any difference really from the last check-in. The foundation didn't really get oily on my skin. I did, however, set it down like I mentioned. I did also take a picture using flash photography, and I didn't see any flashback in that picture, so definitely good on the claims for no flashback. I don't know, I like this foundation, but I definitely don't love it. I will have to test it out again, so my plan is to actually wear it all of tomorrow, because I actually want this video to go up tomorrow. So I will wear it again tomorrow, and I will update the description box to let you know what my final thoughts are on the foundation. I'll wear it. Hey guys, so it's actually the next day, and I wanted to try the foundation on, like I said, one more time before I gave you my final thoughts. And I really felt the need to come on here and actually tell you what I thought of this foundation. So this morning, I think it's now 11:30. So I put this foundation on at 9 this morning, and I did it my normal way. So I washed my face, did my skincare, and then as those were sinking in, I did my brows. And that's usually about the same amount of time I would do with any other foundation that I wear on a regular basis. I would say it takes about 5 minutes before I actually go in and apply my foundation. And usually that's enough time for me to have the primers and moisturizers sink in, and you know, so that when I go in with the foundation, it doesn't pill up or ball up. This foundation, however, in the initial demo that I did yesterday, I had the primer on and I had let it sit for like an hour, and when I was applying it, I had a little bit of a difficult time, and I thought maybe that's because I didn't go in with my primer and then go straight in with foundation. So today I really wanted to do my normal routine that I do on a regular basis, and honestly the application was not the greatest. So when I went to go apply the foundation onto my skin and I tried it with a brush first, it kind of like stuck to certain patches and it started to almost like catch on my skin, which makes no sense because I don't have any dry patches or anything like that. And then I also noticed that when I went to try with a beauty blender, it kind of did the same thing. It just kind of like catches and it doesn't really like blend nicely onto the skin. So yeah, I ended up having to use my hands to apply it, and that was the only way that I could make the foundation look good. And then once you actually set down the foundation and then put all your other products on top, and then I had to spray it with Fix Plus to make it look like this. So this is what it looks like now. And while it does look very natural, and ideally once I actually get it onto the skin and get it sitting on the skin and it looks like this, I actually really like it. Just because it's such a huge effort to actually apply the foundation, I'm gonna have to say that this is a no for me. I'm probably gonna be returning the foundation actually. Yeah, I'm just not feeling it. I think ideally if it just applied nicely, I would keep it. But just the extra effort of having to like use my hands, which I really don't like doing. And then I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing like in terms of primer, because I was using the coconut primer, which is the one that the Marc Jacobs artist used in the promotional video. And I mean, I did use it with another primer, so I don't know if that was the issue, but I would never not moisturize my skin with the coconut smoothie primer and then, you know, go on. So I don't know, I really don't like it. I feel like the application is just such an effort that I just can't justify it. And you know, for $56, it is a higher end foundation, so it's just a no for me. If you have any questions, please do leave it in the comment section down below. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to recommend this foundation. Just the application for me was just not there. So if you have any questions, again, do leave it down below, and I hope you enjoyed this video.